Hello everyone, so today I'm going to make a deck profile for an Omnimon deck, and this time it's not the usual Omegamon, it is the Sleuth engine Omegamon that I've actually created a video of before, but I didn't post a deck list because I haven't tried to test the deck, and now that we're 1 month in, I'm going to show the deck list. So before going to the deck list, I want to show what the deck wants to do. So obviously we want to make an Omegamon, right? So we need a Omegamon and Metal Garurumon for the Sleuth, and then we need the Agumon and Gabumon. So what do we need to make this Omegamon? So we're going to start the turn with 3 memories with Nokia, right? And at the start of the turn, if you have 1 or less Digimon, you can put 1 Agumon or Gabumon to the field. So we're going to assume that we're just going to play 1 Nokia anytime, because 1 Nokia is more than enough. And then Gabumon can take it back. So what we want to do every turn is quite simple. We want to put an Agumon here, so that's 3 costs. And then we're going to Warp Evolve if we have a Nokia into Raymon, Metal Garurumon, and then Metal Garurumon will bounce 1 of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level to hand. Well, once again, this is a choice, so you can actually go to Metal Garurumon first to Raymon, or Raymon first to Metal Garurumon according to the matchup. For example, if you're fighting against a purple deck that has many ondulation effect, then you can go Metal Garurumon to Raymon and Raymon delete. But if you're fighting something like wait, it's the reverse. If the opponent has ondulation, you go Raymon first, so you can use Metal Garurumon to bounce it. But if the card that is bounced is something like an ace or something, that will be dangerous for you to attack next turn, right? Or it's something that's really good, for example like Gilmon Rush or something, so you can go this one then this to delete. So yeah, and then at the end of turn you can Jokers into a new Omegamon, and it's the usual move for, I think, for most of the Omnimon effect. So swing or Raymon press 1 security, Metal Garurumon get this active. So that's the only thing that we need to do every turn once we have the setup. So let's say this gets removed by some way, then we will start at 3 at minimum. So what we have to do is just make another Agumon Gabumon line, or Greymon Metal Garurumon line, and an Omegamon. So this is what we're going to do every turn. Now, what makes this deck good is that, so when we go to Greymon or Metal Garurumon, we got 1 removal, and then we Jokers into the Sleuth Omnimon, and then we get 2 removal. So on evolve, you can choose 1 Digimon for each of 2 cards with same level in the evolution source. So this will gives you 1, 2, so you can put 2 of your Digimon to the bottom of the deck, and I think this one is free to choose. Yes, it's free to choose. And then when you attack, the effect is to delete 1 of your opponent's lowest DP Digimon. So this means that we get 1 from Greymon or Metal Garurumon, 2 from the on evolve, and 1 from one attack. So we get to remove 4 cards on the opponent's board. That means that every attack that you make will not get threatened by ace cards or by any other effects, because the removal is also quite clean, right? 1 is bounced to hand, 2 of them are sent to bottom deck, so this will bypass things like when deleted or something. So this is why you actually don't want to attack too much before going to Omegamon, because this will just clear the opponent's board and attack with more safety. Now, this card alone gives you so one trash from Omegamon and one attack, and then this resistance or reboot. So Omegamon alone gives you 2 damage on evolve, and then for next turn it can swing crash active swing again, so that's 3 damage. But most of the time I don't see this card lives to the next turn, so just keep in mind that every time you do these combos, you will take 2 of your opponent's security. So, and if your opponent only has 1 security left, going with this line will give you a lethal. So that's something to take note. Now that we know it, there are some situations that I want to talk about. So for the first situation is like the perfect hand, right? We have everything in hand. Nokia calls Gabumon, then you play Agumon for 3 costs, and then Agumon fetch something, and you go to Wargrave with Agumon and Megamon. That's the most ideal situation. But we do have lots of situations that where we don't have enough parts. So what I want to show you is the power of this Cyber Sleuth engine that will make it more consistent to play Agumon Gabumon and goes through the whole line every turn. So first of all is this Miracle something, I don't remember the English name. Sorry, I'm playing Japanese version. So this is a 2 cost options that says you can play a Agumon or Gabumon from hand or trash, and then put this to the battle area. For this deck, I'm not playing Taichi and Yamato, so the only reason we're playing this is to play something from the trash, because I only play 4 Gabumon and 4 Agumon, so if one of them runs out, then it's really bad, right? So with 2 costs, this means that we can do something like Nokia plays Gabumon, and then we play the option for 2 costs and revive an Agumon, with the condition that we have one of the Agumon or Gabumon in our hand. But there will also time that we ran out of both of these, and with 3 memories it will be quite hard to make it, right? So the second card that I want to introduce is Kamihiro Yugo. So Yugo says that on place you can check open top 3 and then add 1 Cyber Sleuth. So we're going to assume that Yugo is already there. Okay, so what we can do right now is, so I don't have Agumon or Gabumon on hand. We're going to play the Miracle option to play Gabumon from trash. Then let's say that Gabumon finally opens an Agumon and this goes to hand. So with our usual line, we cannot play Agumon, right? Because playing 3 costs will pass the turn. But with Yugo says that you can put him to the bottom of your deck, and then the Cyber Sleuth cost is reduced by 2. So you can play it for just 1 cost, and then we're back to the Agumon Gabumon situation, and we're just going to go to Wargamon with Agumon and Omegamon all over again. So this means that the more that we set up Yugo on our early turns, the easier it is to go to this whole situation again. Now, of course, we're also playing the Kurumi Tantei Jimusho in order to dig through our decks. Now, what this card does is as simple as check top 3 at 1 Cyber Sleuth. But what's interesting is that we can use this to crack, get 2 memories, play this for 2 costs, play Gabumon from trash, then Gabumon opens an Agumon, then you can 3 cost Agumon, and yeah, this will go back to the whole Omegamon line again. So we're going to build our deck around this 3 memory constraint. Like, if the opponent gives you more than 3, then that's great, but we're going to, with the worst scenario, right? Which is when we're given 3 memories, and that's the minimum because of the Nokia's effect. So that's why we're bringing all of these cards that can support the arrival of Agumon and Gabumon. So now on to the deck profile. We're going to play, of course, 4 of the Omegamon, right? There's no reason not to bring 4 of him. You can reduce it to 3, but I feel like once you got the cycle going, you don't need 4. But the problem is if you don't get any one of them, so I'm still bringing 4. Then of course, Omegamon and Metal Garurumon. Heads up that is going to be a very straight build, so you're going to see a lot of 4 off. So 4 of the Cyber Sleuth Metal Garurumon and 4 of the Cyber Sleuth or Greymon. And why are we not playing the Alter S line or things like that? The reason is that because this is a Cyber Sleuth build, so the card that we're playing can only fetch Cyber Sleuths, so it's better to just not bring any of them and just bring the Cyber Sleuth line in order to increase our chance of hitting our search. 4 Agumon and 4 Gabumon. So the Gabumon is really strong. Open 3 at 1 Cyber Sleuth and 1 card with Omegamon name. This is very strong, and this is one of the cards that you can manage to play early on, even if you don't have the parts, because you can actually revive it later with this. And while the Agumon is kind of bad in my opinion, because it only fetch from trash Greymon, cards with Greymon name, Garurumon name, and Omegamon. So Agumon cannot actually fetch Gabumon, and that's really bad because we need Agumon and Gabumon every turn, right? So if something's delete them and you don't have enough Gabumon on hand, you don't have Agumon, you can't go through this whole line, and that's one of the weakness of the deck, I think, that the Agumon cannot fetch the Gabumon. And then of course we're playing 4 of the Nokia. So why are we running 4 of the Nokia? Why not just like 2 or 3? So Wargreymon and Metal Garurumon cannot warp evolve if you don't have a Nokia, and that's why Nokia is really important in this deck. Without Nokia, nothing works. So our first goal is to get Nokia. So get Nokia, get Agumon and Gabumon, especially Gabumon, and hopefully we can roll from there, like Gabumon fetching all of the other parts. Now we're also playing the Miracle option, and currently I'm playing 3 of them due to the space of the deck. Like, these cards does nothing if you don't have Gabumon on trash or hand. So opening this card is really bad, but having them late game is really good. So I don't want 4 because early game this does nothing, but I want lots of them for the late game. So I'm playing 3 right now. I'm still considering whether I want to go to 4 or go to 2, but we'll see. We'll see. So this is for the Omegamon line. Now let's move on to the Cyber Sleuth line, because the Cyber Sleuth line only has one purpose, and that is to dig through our decks and get these cards. So half of our deck are digging through, and half of our deck is our combo. So we start with Yugo. I'm bringing 4 of Yugo because it's just a 3-cost drop. Check top 3 at 1 Cyber Sleuth. So get checked in the security gives you the check open 3, and even playing it for 3 costs is still really good. And I'm also playing the Dante Jimusho at 3 copies. So this is the flex slot that I think we can play around with the Miracle option. So 4-2 or 3-3 or 2-4. I don't know the correct ratio. Like, I want this early on, but at the late game, you don't really want this. So it's the reverse of the miracle option. And I'm currently testing at 3-3 and I think it's going great. So we're still at 3-3 right now. And then for the Cyber Sleuth line, I'm playing 4 of the Omnimon and 4 of the Palmon. So what these cards do is basically something like the what is it? The line that can put the card to the bottom and evolve again. Yeah, things. I don't remember the name. I'm sorry. So Omnimon says that if a Cyber Sleuth card is put into the bottom of this Digimon, you can play one tamer for free. One Cyber Sleuth tamer for free if you have 2 or less tamer. So basically we can play Nokia for free. So 5 cost into 0 cost. What a great performance. Or we can play Yugo and dig through our decks again. And do you know that Yugo gives you a 2 cost discount for any Cyber Sleuth cards that you want to place on board? I think yes. So you can actually put him on the bottom of the deck and put Nokia for 3 costs, and that's really great. Putting a 3 cost fixer for 3 costs, I think is really great. So that's why we're playing Omnimon, because we're bringing 8 tamers. So there will be lots of time that we're going to use his effect. And then we're bringing 4 Palmon. Palmon is, if you put card at the bottom of this Digimon, you gain 1 memory. So it's just a memory plus. And there are other options for Cyber Sleuth, for example Hagurumon, but I think this is the easiest cards to play, so 4 Therimon and 4 Palmon. Then for the level 4, we're playing 4 of the Gargomon. So Gargomon basically has the same role with Therimon, and that is to play a tamer when you have 2 or less tamer for free. So what you can do is actually boost the Gargomon, place Yugo, then like fetch Nokia, put Gargomon to the bottom, and then Therimon can play Nokia for free. So we're getting 2 tamers for 2 costs. That's the thing. But we are also playing the Cyber Sleuth Digitama, the Wanyamon, and that says that if one of your Cyber Sleuth got put into the bottom of this card, you can evolve for -1 cost. So that means that if you're using the other level 4 from the racing area, then start of the turn, we can go like this, play this. So this is still 0 cost right now. Fetch Nokia, then Digitama effect, evolve Gargomon for 1 cost and put Nokia. So we got this whole setup for 1 memory. It's quite great in my opinion. Now for the second level 4, we're playing Gargomon. There are actually lots of options for the level 4 on the Cyber Sleuth line. There's a Omegamon with Toshin. There's also Omegamon with Press, but I think that Gargomon is the go-to for easy removal. So Gargomon says that on evolve, choose one of your open Digimon -3k, and then if you have 2 cards with the same level on this stack, then you get to devolve 1. So the devolve actually doesn't have any restriction, so you can -3k to 1 card and devolve the other. Then devolve is quite great because if the opponent has ace, you can devolve it and you got an overflow and things like that. So this is our Cyber Sleuth line, and that's the whole deck actually. And like I said, it is quite a clean build. Like everything is 4 off, except for the options. We're going for 3 copies of each option. And now let's move to the playtest so that we can see how it goes in action. Okay, so for our game plan, the first half of the game will be digging through our decks, getting the combo piece, and giving memory, as low as memory, giving the opponents as low, fewest memory as possible. Haven't used English for a long time. My mind just kinda goes blank. So for mulligans, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for mulligans in this deck, this is my theory right now, but let's share. My go-to is keep if we have 3 playable cards. So in this situation, these 2 are unplayable. Why? Because we don't have any Gabumon, we don't have the color, so even if we can play this does nothing. Agumon is also an unplayable card in my opinion, because even if you have evolve an Agumon on the back, it does nothing. You cannot evolve into anything else. You can go to the level 4, but it is just a bad situation. And Metalgamon also cannot do anything, so right now we only have 1 playable card, so this is a mulligan for me. We're hoping for 3 playable cards, and that includes a Gabumon, also includes things like the Tandai Jimusho. Yeah, Nokia is questionable. Like, you want Nokia as early as possible, but if you can't go through your hand, then Nokia is kinda useless, right? So after mulligan we got these hands. Well, it is after mulligan, so we cannot do anything anymore, but is this a good hand? I don't really think so, but it is playable at least. So let's start the game. So instead of going first, so we're going to hatch. I'm actually not going to evolve the Gabumon on the back because this Gabumon's open 3 and fetch 2, so I think that's a whole lot better than evolving on the back. And you can just play Gabumon, or I think it's better to just play Nokia at this point. So giving the opponents 5 memory on turn 1 is quite dangerous, but it's better to give it 5 now rather than later when they have their setup complete. So Gabumon open 3. So we already have a Gabumon, Metal Garumon, and Omegamon, so we're going to face a War Greymon, cast the animation Omegamon, and a Cyber Sleuth card. So we're going to fetch Hugo. And hopefully we can go from here next turn. Then let's say the opponents just like play, and give us 3 and delete the Gabumon. So we're going to start at 3 because of Nokia's effect. So at the start of turn, you can play a Gabumon for free. And I'm going to play this Gabumon because there's so many dead cards in our hand, right? So we're going to dig through our decks. Play Gabumon for free, open 3. So 1 card that mentioned Omegamon, that is a Gabumon, and 1 Cyber Sleuth, that is a Terriermon. And finally we can evolve on the back. And we're going to search for an Agumon at this situation, right? We only need 1 last Agumon and the whole combo can start. So free cost for you go. 1, 2, 3. Still not seeing the Agumon. And we can fetch a Gargomon to evolve next turn. Just give it a 2 cost pass, but I'm going to take Yugo and dig through the deck once again. So 3 cost. 1, 2, 3, and that's an Agumon. Fetch this Agumon. Last turn, this gets deleted, and I see the opponent's like check 1 or 2, then getting 3 back. Nope. So, in my opinion, if you don't get the Cyber Sleuth evolve line, and just put it on the back and let it sit for the last little damage or something, because most of the time you don't need them anyway because you want to attack safely with the Omegamon removal. So start of the turn, Nokia plays Gabumon open 3, 1, 2, 3, get 1 card that mention Omegamon and 1 Cyber Sleuth. Then from here on, we can use Yugo we can just play Agumon. So it really goes according to what you're playing against. So let's say that we don't want to give too much memory, so one cost Agumon. Agumon can fetch something, but there's no target right now. And this is why I think this Agumon is bad, because we cannot fetch all of this Gabumon. And this is our last Gabumon actually, so hopefully we draw into something. Then we go for the combo. So 6 cost for Greymon. Greymon effect, we lost the Metal Greymon. Bounce to hand. Progress at the end of the turn, and goes to Omegamon. Swing Trash active. Next turn. Omegamon do have a decode, but most of the time my Omegamon actually got like bottom deck or something, so no, not bottom deck actually, like got hit in battle, so I rarely see the decode happen, so let's say that decode doesn't happen. And we're back with 3, so draw. And now we're in bad situation, right? Because we don't have Gabumon left. So we're going to put Terramon to the front. And we're going to our digging phase, because we don't have enough resource to do anything right now. So hopefully we draw into the miracle option. So 2 cost Gargomon, draw 1. Nope. And we can actually do something like this. Yuga effect. Play for 1 cost. Minus 2 cost. So we're going to play a Terramon here. Then using Terramon's effect, put Gargomon to the bottom and draw 1. Then Terramon plays 1 tamer for free and 1 tree. Still not getting there. We're going to take Gargomon. Then I can evolve this for minus 1 cost, so giving 1 with Gargomon as minus 3k and evolve. So let's say that all of these got deleted, and then start at 3 again, draw, catch. Start off main. I'm still not going to play Agumon. I haven't seen any trace of the option, so we're going to play the slow game right now, Albon. Then we're going to Gargomon, because still nothing. And that's the worst part of this deck. Like, once your Gabumon ran up, there's really nothing that you can really do. So we're just gonna play an Agumon and pass turn and fetching the Omegamon, I guess. Yeah. Then this got deleted, and you run stack like 1, 2. Start at 3 again, draw. Still nothing. Goes to front. Then at this point, I'm going to play Agumon with Nokia's effect, because if we don't go this turn, we're going to lose anyway. So fetch the Omegamon. Palmon effect. Put the bottom, draw 1. Palmon plus 1. Then Onyamon we can evolve for minus 1 cost, so 1 cost. Gardomon, draw 1. And we still won't get the option, so yeah. At this point we're stuck. Well, you can go for Greymon and delete whatever your opponent's having, right? And we just lose. But that's how the deck kinda moves. Since actually we don't really see it's like the options, so and we kinda see a lot of Gabumon on the early game, so that's why it feels kinda bad. Let's try again. So our decision making is really simple. It's either go time now or digging time. Really simple. So let's start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So back to my theory again. I have 4 playable cards. So I'm going to keep this hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And start of turn. going first at Theremin row 1. And we're going to play Yugo for 3 costs and pass turn. 1, 2, 3. So if you open a Nokia, fetch it now because you don't know when you will see another Nokia again. Let's say we got 1 memory only, so draw 1. We don't actually need to move and attack because it's better to just evolve on the back. So 2 cost Gardramon, draw 1, pass turn. So why are we evolving Gardramon in the back? So let's say that the opponent gives us 1 again, draw, goes to front. We can actually do something like this. So Yugo goes to the bottom, minus 2 cost, so that is 1 cost for Gabumon. 1, 2, 3. So first dimension Omegamon and Sleuth. I don't have a Metal Garmon and I don't have a level 3, so we fetch this 2. And we're going to use Theremin effect. Put this to bottom, draw 1. Theremin effect, we can play a Tamer for free. We're going to play Yugo for free. Yugo open 3. 1, 2, 3. We cannot fetch this option with Yugo, by the way, so we're going to Gardramon. And then we can go Wanyamon minus 1 cost, evolve. So 1 cost Gardramon, draw 1. And then play a Tamer for free. We're going to play Nokia here, and yeah, we've just put out 2 Tamers, 1 Digimon with only 1 cost. Pass turn. And then we're going to get 3 draw catch. Nokia effects doesn't work right now because we have more than 2 cards. So we're going to evolve Almon in the back. And we have the whole package right now. So we can go anytime. But for now, we're going to use the Theremin effect again. Put this to the bottom. Or actually you can go something like this. So I'm sure you go minus 2 cost. Put this card to the bottom and play an Agumon for 1 cost. And then Theremin effect, put Gargomon to the bottom, draw 1. Theremin effect, you can play a Tamer for free. So put Yugo again and open 3. 1, 2, 3. Only 1 target. And then you can evolve for 1 cost. So 1 cost Gardramon, 1 draw, minus 3k default. And yeah, this is just go time from here on because we already have Agumon Gabumon for next turn, 4 Greymon Metal Garurumon Omegamon, and we have 4 Greymon and Omegamon, so we only need to fetch Metal Garurumon with Agumon next turn. Everything is going well, so 5 cost, 6 cost, draw, evolve the Gabumon to Metal Garurumon, and then Metal Garurumon bounce 1, and then we go to Yogres, evolve, draw 1, attack, crash, active, pass turn. So as you can see, I'm not attacking with this Gardramon because it's just safer if you just attack with Omegamon, and this is just a draw engine, and this actually protects your Omegamon with things like that. Delete one of your opponent's lowest Digimon or something, and opponent will just deal this. Also, Gardramon says that at the opponent's turn, the ESS is plus 2k, and Gargomon is plus 1k both turns, so right now this is plus 3k, so Gargomon is 8k. Quite high for a level 4. So, but let's say that both of them got removed by some ways. I don't know. Start at 3, draw. So, we're just going to start off main phase. Nokia play Gabumon for free. 1, 2, 3. First animation Omegamon and Sleuth. Put this at the bottom. And then we can use Yugo, or we can just play Agumon. Honestly, I don't really like playing using Yugo if we don't have any other plan. But if we're using Yugo right now, so minus 1 cost, play Agumon. Agumon fetch Metal Garurumon. And what do we have with the remaining 2 costs? I'm going to play Garurumon on the back. And yeah, it's the whole line again. 6 cost. War Ray. Delete 1. Progress. Bottom 2. Attack. Delete 1. Active Trash. And that's how the deck plays out. Let's say it does the remove again. And we're going to see whether we can get another line for next turn. So we don't have the complete part. We don't have Gabumon, so I'm going to play Gardromon to the front and Nokia effect at the start of the main phase. We're going to play an Agumon from hand. Agumon going to fetch something. So I have a Wargreymon and Metagreymon on my hand, but enough an Omegamon, so we're going to fetch the Omegamon. But we don't have Gabumon right now, so I'm going to use the Palmon effect. What's at the bottom? Draw 1. Palmon memory plus 1. And then we can evolve for 1 cost, so I'm going with Gargomon for 1 cost. Draw 1. Gargomon can play a Tamer. Well, why not play a Nokia? I mean, it's free. But we're not going to get into an Omegamon this turn because we're not seeing the Gabumon. So we're just going to do some setups. 1, 2, 3. Only 1 card away, unfortunately. But at this point, we cannot play Gabumon anymore. So the other thing that you can do actually is so what you can do actually goes here first, right? So then put this here, plus 1, evolve, and Nokia Gabumon. That's a possibility that I've just realized just now. Should have played the Tantai first, right? But yeah, let's say that we've gone that way. Then we only need the Omegamon line right now, so 2 of the Metal Garmon, and just evolve away. Progress. And this should begin. Okay, so to sum things up, what we want to do with this deck is really simple. So going first, obviously evolve the back, and the best way to pass turn is just give the opponent 2 cost evolve. So when we start next turn, this goes to the front, this goes to the bottom. Paramon plays a Tamer, but Yugo or Nokia, preferably you go first, so you can have all of the parts on your hand. You go open 3, and hopefully we got another Tamer, or we already have Tamer on our hand. Wanyamon evolve for 1 cost. Gargomon plays another Tamer. Nokia plays Gabumon. Gabumon open 3. Then this is the setup for first turn. Yeah, so with only 1 memory and 1 of this line, you can go quite a long way. But usually I don't play the Gabumon because we don't get to do little anyway. But if your opponent gives you 2, then this whole thing becomes legit, right? If you still have 1 memory, you can go Yugo Agumon, and then on turn 2, you're going to unleash the absolute nightmare of the Omegamon line. But yeah, usually it's just this, and then you play memory boost or another Yugo, and give the opponents free memory. You don't really attack with this Sleuth line, but see the situation, right? Usually you want this to survive, so next time you can just put this to the bottom and get another group source, and hopefully triggering the Terramon or Palmon again. Palmon plus 1 memory is really great, as we can see at the sample before. And yeah, so the goal is to have Agumon and Gabumon on your hand every turn, or having the miracle option So you really need these two or one of these to complement the other every turn in order to make Omegamon every turn. And that's it for the video. It is my first deck profile for Digimon TCG, so I'm sorry if it got long or too roundabout. Roundabout? I don't know. I haven't really used English for a long time. Hopefully it helps with people that want to play this Omegamon line or people that really like Nokia when playing Cyber Sleuth but don't want to spend money too much in like Omegamon X or Ultra S. And you can build this with only Cyber Sleuth cards plus this. What are the alternatives? You can replace this with Agumon or Gabumon, preferably Gabumon. I think it's better to have more Gabumon because you're probably going to play Gabumon quite aggressively in his deck. But you also need to search for other cards in the other set anyway, so better just play this. And I think that's it for today. Of course, that whatever card you change this with, you cannot fetch with this whole Cyber Sleuth team deck, so do be careful about that. And hopefully this helps everyone that want to try out the Omegamon and Nokia. So thank you so much everyone for watching. Hope you have a nice day and see you later. Bye bye.